We are tracking a very powerful, possibly a historic snowstorm for the northern plains, the Great Lakes, and the Intermountain West that could really snarl traffic. We're also talking about freezing rain and sleet with severe weather for the deep south. So once again, here's a look at the European model for Tuesday morning, February the 21st, 2023. And this is for Central Standard Time with the time that is located on the top right side of the screen. We're going to go through this as detailed as we can because this is going to be a very big monster storm, possibly even historic. Okay, so we're just going to kind of walk through this with great detail. So first of all, Tuesday morning, moderate to heavy snowfall, you name it, over Montana, over the higher elevations of Washington, Oregon. If you're in Idaho, it's going to be pretty rough. We're talking some big time winds, whiteout conditions, cold temperatures. It's going to be that type of storm that you definitely need to take into consideration. Let's go forward here. By 6 p.m. on Tuesday, we have that system developing here. Take note, moisture here to the south. This is going to be engaging with the severe weather threat for Wednesday. So everything is going to come together and it's going to lead to a very big storm. Not only that, let's go to 6 in the morning on Wednesday. This is how it's going to look. That system really taking shape here over Nevada, over Utah, Wyoming, if you are in Montana, if you're in, say, Colorado, if you are in, say, Nebraska, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin. I mean, this is a really big storm, but it's especially Wednesday afternoon and Wednesday evening when all hell will break loose. You don't hear me say that very often in this video, and that's because this system is going to be like hell. We're talking heavy snow, blizzard conditions, strong winds. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, we're seeing snow this far south in mid to late February over the Four Corners. And of course, yeah, might even see snow levels down to 1,000 feet or lower in portions of California. Yes, right in the Central Valley, the Bay Area, the Big Sur coastline, and even for Southern California. But here it is. Right here is where we're going to keep an eye on the severe weather over Oklahoma, over Texas, over Arkansas, Missouri, and to the south here where we have a lot of that warm, moist air advection. To the north, that's where we have the cold air, and that's where we got the snow. And that's what's going to make this system very dangerous. So by, say, 6 p.m., on Wednesday into the overnight hours, this is really, really, really bad, okay? By 12 a.m., on Thursday, Central Standard Time, look at the snow. We're talking moderate to heavy snowfall, and then of course, right along the battle zone where the warm and cold air meet is where we're going to see some sleet and freezing rain that could lead to power outages, down trees. We could see a lot of property damage because the winds and the freezing rain will make it just that much more worse. To the south though, like central Indiana, central Ohio, and to the south there, including for western Tennessee and as well as Mississippi, you're just going to be seeing some of the severe weather, heavy rainfall and strong winds. But wow, this system is huge. We're going from snowfall across the Intermountain West, including for California, into Montana, Wyoming, the Dakotas. If you're in Nebraska, even Kansas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Iowa, Michigan. I mean, this goes all the way from coast to coast. It is going to be stretched like Laffy Taffy. Unlike other winter storms where it's kind of really contained in one area, this is going to be stretched. So everyone is going to be feeling the impacts on Tuesday, but especially on Wednesday and even into Thursday. So by 6 in the morning, it is still snowing pretty good here. We got some ice. We got some power outages to be concerned about if you're in the Northeast, if you're in the Great Lakes and the Northern Plains. Still a big deal here. Strong winds, so blizzard conditions are certainly expected. And then of course here over California by Wednesday and Thursday, we're looking at very low elevation snow and possibly some record low nighttime temperatures, including for daytime highs that could also be at record low levels too. So yeah, we're just going to go and throw out the records there because of how cold the system is going to be. Then that moves out pretty quickly by the time we go into Friday morning and even into Saturday. But this system could also cause more problems later down the road as it moves into the plains here. No snow, but look at that. Another big storm possibly by the early part of Monday and even into Tuesday, the last couple of days of February could end on a pretty stormy note over the Midwest. But that is too far out. That's 198 to 204 hours out. What we're really focused on is going to be that big storm. So let's take a look at our latest watches, warnings, and advisories here, because this is very colorful. We're talking high wind warnings, high wind watches, winter weather advisories, winter storm watches, winter storm warnings, wind advisories. This is going to get a lot more colorful by tomorrow. That's probably why I'm going to be making a morning video. I'm going to be doing a special morning update, and it's going to be one of those long ones. So you want to stay tuned for that, because we're going to drill down to as much detail as we can possible in this on this winter storm. So very big impacts expected here for much of the nation. So make sure you do get prepared. But now, snowfall totals are looking even more significant. I mean, this is ridiculous, first of all, okay? We're talking about 1 to maybe 3 feet of snowfall. Okay, 1 to 3 feet of snowfall, not just for the Intermountain West or the Northern Plains, but yeah, we're talking about a foot or more of snowfall over central and northern Michigan. We're talking about the extreme Northeast here that could be seen as much as maybe a foot, maybe a foot and a half, but it is in this narrow corridor right here. There's an area here of 35 inches. My goodness! 30 inches here over western Wisconsin, but of course in the higher elevations here of Montana and Wyoming could see as much as maybe 3 to 5 feet. Might even see 6 feet in some areas. So yeah, I mean, this is really going to be bad news. And this is 5 days snowfall totals. So yeah, make sure you are ready to carry chains with you. If you're going anywhere, make sure you allow some extra time, because this is going to be a very big, nasty monster storm. And do I rarely say this is going to be extreme? Because we're also talking about freezing rain. Yes, that's another very big concern that we are really concerned about. So let's take a look here at Weather Bell, at showing you all on how much freezing rain and ice you're expecting to see. So we're going to go from west to east here, starting off with Iowa, anywhere between maybe 1/10 of an inch to maybe 1/4 of an inch. Same thing for Chicago and southern Wisconsin, like Milwaukee, might see as much as about 1/4 of an inch to maybe 1/2 an inch. But it's over in this area, especially over central and southern Michigan, maybe Detroit, and maybe even Buffalo, New York. You might just get 1/2 an inch or more of ice, which means that if you get 1/2 an inch, there is going to be more numerous power outages. And yes, if the European model comes to being correct with this prediction, and it's been consistent over the last 3 to 5 days, right? If this comes to be correct, I am not trying to hype this up. I'm not trying to scare you all here. I'm just trying to relay the information of what I see. But if this pans out, in central and southern Michigan, you might see 1+ inches of ice. If that happens, I will promise you, you will have widespread power outages that could be long duration. And you will see impossible impossible road travel across Michigan, including maybe 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch or more over the central and western New York state, including for upstate Pennsylvania. So, I mean, this is going to be bad, okay? And I rarely say that. I mean, every YouTuber at this point is probably hyping it up because this is likely. There's no turning back, right? How much sleet? Well, anywhere between about 1/2 an inch to maybe 1 inch of sleet all the way from the Northeast into the Great Lakes and into portions of the Northern Plains like Iowa and southern Wisconsin. Could see quite a bit of sleet on top of freezing rain and snow. You're going to have a heck of a mess to work through. If you're enjoying the video and the detail, please make sure you do subscribe if you're liking the video, if you want to see more updates on this, and also hit the like button if you're new to the video and you like the content also. The more likes, the more subscribers we get, YouTube's algorithm is likely to share this with a larger audience. So make sure you do your part and help me out here at getting this out to as many people as we can possible. So now, severe weather is going to be something that we won't forget about on Wednesday. There's a day 4 slight risk for severe weather. They're maintaining this. They're not going 30 yet. So this is for central and northern Louisiana, for northeastern tip of Texas, including for much of Arkansas, as well as northwestern Mississippi and western Tennessee, under the 15% slight risk for severe weather. That includes the possibility for tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds. But more than likely, it's going to be wind-driven and tornado-driven than, say, large hail, because the thermos are not looking very promising for large hail. We're not seeing very steep mid-level lapse rates, anywhere between 4 to 6 degrees Celsius per 1 kilometer. Otherwise, if they were more steeper, we would get more higher instability and we would have more troubles with large hail, that sort of thing. But we could still see tornadoes and damaging winds regardless if it's not for the hail. So there will be severe weather across the Deep South and Dixie Alley on Wednesday. That's day 4. So now that we talked about the severe weather, now let's kind of take a look at our temperatures, because there is big changes coming. Just wait until you see the end of the work week. These temperatures are going to be a distant memory if you're in the central and northern U.S., including if you're back west like me. We're going to have a big drop in temperatures. It's going to be crazy around here. Yes, we're getting snow here maybe on Thursday. And here it is. It's 65 degrees outside. So yeah, California getting sea level snow, you don't see that very often. So let's go and take a look. So for your Mondays, that's tomorrow, temperatures in the 70s and 80s for the Deep South. Not so bad, right? You're loving this. It's lovely. You're going to be able to go out and do some gardening, do your jog, do your walk. If you're across the northern plains, maybe a different story. Well, 35 degrees is not so bad if you're in Minneapolis, 38 degrees near there, 41 in Chicago, 45 near Cedar Rapids. No, wait, not Cedar Rapids. Rapid City. That's what I got. Okay, Rapid City, 45 degrees. But Fargo, too, 16 degrees. That's going to change, though. Let's go into Wednesday. Oh, where did those 20s go? They're gone. They're off the board because they're not even here. In Montana, North Dakota, and Wyoming, you're going to see temperatures only during the day getting in single digits. I mean, that's how warm it's going to get. I mean, this is like January, February, early February weather. Well, it's still February, but it's more later February. But to the south there, look at these temperatures. 75 degrees in Oklahoma, 85 degrees in southern Texas, Florida, Georgia, 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is going to be very warm. We're talking record high temperatures likely in many locations for the southeast and for the Deep South. Not only that, look at Indiana. 65 degrees in Indianapolis, 62 degrees if you're in Columbus, Ohio. So really, really warm. And right between that cold air to the north, that warm air to the south is where you're going to have the freezing rain and sleet. You're going to have a really big wintry mess to deal with. All right. But it only gets more crazier than this, right? Let's go into Thursday afternoon daytime highs. Still, negative 4 degrees over the Dakotas, Montana, as well as Wyoming. 90 degrees over Jacksonville, Florida. I mean, this is just crazy. Orlando, Florida, possibly 95 degrees on Thursday. I mean, that's almost 100 degrees. It's summer heat. It's like a summer heat wave. And then you go to the north here, it's not even summer. It is downright winter-like. So big temperature gradient here. And yeah, when we get that big temperature gradient, we get the pressure gradient, we get extreme weather between these two air masses. All right, let's take a look now at Friday morning. You thought -5 was cold? You're going to get seeing temperatures maybe -20, -30 degrees perhaps in the Dakotas and Montana. Still in the 70s here for the Deep South into the overnight hours. So it is going to be very warm. Something you're not used to. 30s and 20s across the Central Valley, the higher elevations of the mountains of the Sierra in the single digits at night. So it's really going to cool off. You thought it's cold right now in Montana and Wyoming, including for, say, the Dakotas. Just wait, give it a few more days, and it is going to be a lot more colder than what you're used to. Well, that is going to sum it up for today's video. If you did enjoy this video, make sure you hit the red subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and also like the video if you want to get more updates on this YouTube channel. I am working something out, and we are likely to do a double header upload tomorrow. That means we're going to make a video in the morning, and then we're going to make a video in the evening or in the afternoon like my typical videos are. So if you haven't subscribed, you might want to do that right now because, yeah, we got you covered. We got you covered on this winter storm because this is really going to be a big problem. I mean, I've never seen a winter storm this bad, probably since Christmas. Yeah, since Christmas. This one is kind of up in that record books of being one of the bigger storms. All right, but that's going to do it. Thank you all for watching. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning with another detailed update, followed by my afternoon video.